Watching a pre-recorded video for the 5th day of my 12 Days of Christmas. It is Friday, December 5th, 2025, and I welcome you. And we're going to create a card using another fun fold technique I'm very excited about. I seem to be very excited about this entire programming and these 12 days. So you are going to need from your supplies the Shaded Spruce ink pad, more of this beautiful paper that has this on the front and this on the back. It is the Pretty Peacock frozen frosted window type effect. I think it's so cool. And it's got all of those elements. So if you have already cut this down and are not able to get a piece of paper that is, I have to find my measurements. You need a piece, designer series paper, that is going to be 5 1/4 by 4. And since this is non-directional pattern, hopefully you have a slice of that that is 5 1/4 by 4. And then I'm going to show you what you're going to do with that with the rest of the supplies that you have in your kit for day 5. The sentiments you're going to need, I was reading, sending, cheer. So those are the 2 sentiments you need. And the label you need, which mine has a spot on it, which I have to get off, is the one that is kind of an oval shaped with the stitching around it. So I'll let you collect all of your items. You will need your gems, and you will need the wonderful Shaded Spruce gold edged trim. So I'm going to get pointed down to my work area, and I am going to let you gather your supplies, and then we're going to get started. Thank you so much for being here and being a part of this wonderful retreat that I'm so happy to share with each and every one of you. If you're obviously you're all catching the replay because this is pre-recorded, so thank you. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any content, as well as give me some love. Hit those emojis, friends, and leave a comment. Okay, thanks so much. Let's get the camera reversed. I'm working with since it's pre-recorded, I'm doing this in daylight. It's amazing the difference when you have that daylight going on in your craft room. I'm gonna just move this aside a little. Sorry for the wiggle and jiggle. I'm gonna set this aside because, again, you're gonna use Sending Cheer, those 2 stamps, which I've already mounted onto blocks. It's always good to have your piercing mat, like I've stated previously, which is amongst the missing, but that's okay, I'll find it. And I'm going to get your my paper trimmer. So you do need your paper trimmer for this episode and this creation. And we are going to, and I'm going to come in this way, and I'm just going to cut a piece that is a 5 1/4 size from right here and cut it down to 4 inches, like so. And then what you're going to do, and there's tips to this, is put this in the, it's non-directional, so it doesn't matter. You're going to put this tip to tip in the track of your paper trimmer. You want the points of each diagonal end to be in the track of the cutter, of the trimmer. You're going to lay this down, and you want the blade to be in the center of your paper so you're not crushing the corners of your designer series paper. And you're going to go this way and then go this way, and then you have 2 pieces, so you could actually make 2 different cards. You can retain that piece for another project. Now I'm going to come in. I'm going to find a piercing mat that exists. Hopefully not tip everything over like I did last night. And I do need to find my little, bear with me because I think this is ink. Wonderful sanding thing that I got from Celine. It's not coming off, so I will just leave it because I don't want to tear up the paper. I'm going to grab my Shaded Spruce ink, pop that open, and we are going to, because these have curves to them, we're going to go ahead and stamp Sending to the top, Cheer, curves the other way, to the bottom. And there is your stamped image. Now another thing in your kit, which I've already stamped, you also are going to need the sentiment just for you. So you want to grab that sentiment, and on your tiny piece of white paper, you're going to stamp just for you, because that's going to go on the inside of a fun fold portion of this card. So we have all of our stamping done. I'm not sure why I stamped that in advance, but it's okay. All done stamping. Set this aside. And now we get to build our beautiful card. So I already have a piece of this handy. I just wanted to show you what you needed here. So I'm going to set these aside and put them back in my little tray of tricks that I got going on, filled with all the wonderful things. My arm of my camera is showing, I believe. So let's just get this stuff in here. Maybe it wasn't the arm of my camera. So what I want to do, you have this cute little card that's going to flip up this way. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and adhere this to the inside of that little card. Of course, always using adhesive of choice. That's going to go on the inside, like so. And on the outside, you have a decorative piece. And I'm going to use the frosted shaded spruce piece. If you'd like to use that, you can, but it's going to create too much busyness. So it kind of stands out from the piece that is going to be on the front of your card. So we have that. And then there is more cutting, so don't put your paper trimmer away. Okay, this is going to go here on the front. And we're going to set that aside for now. So you've already built one element, cute little card for the front of your card base. So you have the holly. We're going to leave that set aside for a minute. We're going to come back in with our paper trimmer. And what I want to do, so this card is this kind of fold, and you want to place just before the score mark, or actually at the score mark, and the other tip, if you can see that, let's go up here a little further. So the tip down here, and the score line, just the tip of it, like the end, the inside portion, this side of the score line. It's hard to get it all lined up. You're going to do the same thing. Drop that blade right there and go up to the top there. Keep this for another project because it will line this piece perfectly for you to use for anything. Okay. Now we've got this for our card base. Set your trimmer aside. And for the inside, I'm going to go ahead and add this beautiful holly embossed piece of basic white. And that is going to have like a smidge of a border, 1/8 of an inch border. Okay. Now for this piece, obviously it's going to go right there. So we're going to have two different folds within one card. Hope you all are enjoying this. Thank you for being here. We're going to add this to the front. There is a little bit of a border, like so. So this is how this is going to open, okay? And this, whoops, I have two of them, not sure why. This is going to tuck here, and it's going to almost go to the edge right there. So in order to do this, it's actually going to almost center in this section. What I want to do is add adhesive to the back side of this cute little flippy flap card. Gives it a little added interest and, whoops, some focal point. And I am going to hold it before placing it so I know it's going to fold nicely. And there you go. You can go ahead and varnish that a little bit, rub that adhesive in there. It's not completely centered on mine, but that's okay. There's that, and there's that. So you have a place to write in addition to this beautiful background here and there. Now you're going to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals, and we're going to, where's my sample? I need those for another time. We are going to grab about, let's see, I'm going to say, I'm going to trim this a little because I don't want a, when you cut this, you almost have to have a straight taunt pull on that so it doesn't get too crooked when you're cutting it. But don't worry if it ends up, you know, not being straight because it's going to get covered. So I'd say about 4 inches. Okay, you see how that happens? So a good way to use this ribbon, I'm going to tack it, actually, I'm going to tack it to the front of this. If you want more than that amount, you certainly can do that. So what I want to do, to get things out of the way, I don't have my seal with me, and I don't want to use wet glue, so I'm just going to have to use some tear and tape and put a smidge of tear and tape where I want that to go. And it will hold that ribbon in place. Okay? Grab my Take Your Pick tool, peel that off, or you can use your seal. Highly recommend not using liquid glue because it's going to ooze out of the ribbon. And bring that here, adhere that, wrap it around. Oops, yes, wrap it around to the inside because that gives it a very pretty look to the inside of that. And then you're going to end up covering those two ends with your sentiment. So nobody's going to know the difference. Grab some dimensionals for your sentiment, which I just happen to have in, oh, right next to me. Who knew? And I want to make sure it's going to hold down all that ribbon on the ends. You certainly can do more ribbon if you want full coverage in the front, but either way it doesn't matter because that is going to bring that all together like so. Okay, just like that, you created your card. Super simple, fun techniques. Grab your wonderful, beautiful faceted snowflakes, and we are going to use, again, I'm stuck on this cherry cobbler. We will advance and do other things. I'm going to use one small there, a small there, and a large right there. And there you go. That is day 5 of our 12 Days of Christmas. Just for you. Sending cheer. You could also put gems there if you'd like to. I'm going to leave it plain, but that is day 5. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed this day's project, and I will see you again tomorrow at 7 p.m. with a pre-recorded video for day 6. Thank you so much for joining me. Many Stampin' Blessings. Bye for now.